Hey everybody, welcome to Jen Lowry Writes, where tonight we are set up and are going to be having our second paint party with the Writing Warriors for Jesus, our WWJs. And we've got Ann Harrison and Tish Bouvier in the house, and we are here to paint party.
Howdy.
Tell them a little bit about you as we are setting up the paint party.
Ann?
Go.
Okay, I didn't know which one of it. I was like, let's don't all speak at once. Ann Harrison. Hey, I am an author, a professional freelance writer, and a podcaster. And I have done some streams toward the end of August. I did a few YouTube streams, and I may do some more for NaNoWriMo. I'm not sure yet. But anyway, that's a little bit about me. I've got my own Nano project. I don't know that I'll be painting tonight, but I'm hanging out with everybody.
And I'm Tish Bouvier. You see me a lot on YouTube. I'm a YouTuber with Write With Me, and I am a coffee lover, but I'm not drinking coffee tonight. I have water. I have a book out, Echoes and Whispers, Haiku for Nano Writers. Be sure to check it out on Amazon. And I am here ready to paint. Welcome.
So, Tish, you just said you're not having coffee. And
right.
I've got a Nano cup that I got for everybody. And it's filled with coffee. So, I was saying, Tish, you did it to me. I'm going to blame you. It's all your fault.
Yeah, I wanted to go to sleep tonight, so that's why I'm not drinking.
Okay, so for the paint party, since Nano is coming up and it's Halloween too, I thought about doing ghoul skulls. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to be attempting to paint. And you said Peyton gave us the tip of using the pencil.
Yeah, Madison. Okay. Always draw first, she said. Sketch your picture out and then go from there. And also with the brushes, she gave me some tips with the brushes. Now this here, the wider brush, are used for long strokes, big strokes, like if you're doing ocean, wave, clouds, and sky. And the little fine point are for the details, the edges of your characters or whatever you're sketching, like a pencil. This is for that. So yeah, she gave me some little tips with the brushes.
Awesome. Thank you. So thank you to Madison for helping us out, because we are not professional painters, but we are going to have some fun doing it. So, Tish, tell us what you're drawing tonight.
Well, I'm going to do 2 Halloween. I already sketched it a little bit. I'm going to do a house, a haunted house with the spider web, cobweb, and a ghost, and some bats. And my second picture, I think, what was it? I already sketched it out. It's a horrible sketch. I don't know what he is, but he's called Creepy. A mixture between an alien Dracula. So yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see how this is. It's going to be hilarious. I know it's going to be awesome, Tish.
It's going to be funny.
It's fun. Right, so you can talk us through Nano and tell us what your project is going to be for Nano. You can announce it right here on the paint party. What you're going to be doing at Nano.
Well, I'm still going to work on my book, my cozy mystery, and the official title, well, for now, is Flip Flop Tarot Cards and Murder. Yeah.
Murder.
It's Bay Bonds mystery set in Peyton County, Texas, my make-believe town based on a real town that is now a ghost town. So yeah, that's pretty good for this, what you call this, for Halloween. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on. I'll probably do work on my haiku book. I got 2 haiku books. I'm going to do a little bit on each one, and probably practice drawing, illustrating Josie, the ballerina dreamer. So I'm doing multitask.
Illustrator or Paint Shop Pro?
Illustrator, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm gonna mess with that. Adobe got so many programs that is just amazing. So yeah.
All
I'm gonna
right,
figure out.
everybody, what you gonna be working on for Nano?
Well, my short read was called Inner Vision, and I've actually changed the title of it. I've got to go and change it in my Nano project. I don't know how to do that yet, but I'm gonna try. But it's called The Body in the Dorm Advisor's Office. So, of
Ooh.
course, the first couple of chapters is basically the prologue, in the first couple of chapters is basically her adjusting to, well, the accident, and then her adjusting before she goes to the center, which things are going to happen a lot faster than they do in real life because, story, you can't have a lot of lags, and with vocational rehabilitation, yeah, there's a lot of lag time, but I can't show that, so I have to kind of move things along a lot faster. But then in the third chapter, she winds up in the center, and I've created this center called the Hempstead Center for the Visually Impaired, and it's a small private thing, a facility, and there is a body that is found in the girls' dorm advisor's office.
Well, there you go, guys. There's a hook for you.
That sounds good. Ooh.
But now I got to figure out how to
now drawing cat ears, and it honestly looks like Gizmo's ears from Gremlins.
Oh my gosh.
So now I'm having to erase my ears.
I remember those. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, when she mentioned Gremlins, I thought about all the old movies we used to watch. I watched Ferris Bueller Day Off this week and must have laughed. Like I'd never seen it before. It was so hilarious.
Wait a minute. You said you've never seen Ferris Bueller?
I have, but I watched it as though I never saw it before because I was laughing like it was the first time.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny.
Speaking of the Gremlins, you remember back in the day when because Jen, you are almost the same. You're close to my age, so Tish, you probably remember this too. Remember when Hardee's had those Gremlins books, those little kids books and the records?
No, they came with a record?
Yes, it was little stories. There were 5 of them. There was the Mogwai, Gizmo. I think his name was Gizmo, and then there was like the second little storybook where Gizmo gets wet and ends up producing 5.
Oh yeah,
little Mogwai, and then they end up eating chicken after midnight and turning into gremlins, and then they get tossed in the pool at the gym and end up multiplying. Yeah, there's like 5 books. Oh my gosh, I could not get enough of those books. I remember the records.
So I remember how much when I was Sam's age, Sam is 13 now, that's my baby, that I was in love with Stephen King.
Oh, wow.
And I was reading those books like crazy.
I loved Stephen King when I was in high school. Well, maybe not high school, but
I was in middle school and just loving it up. I think that the Talisman.
Then it got too gory, and
the Talisman was mine. It got too gory for you, and you had to give it up.
I didn't realize I was watching Stephen King's movie.
It just got too much for me. I read so much of it, I got sick of it.
I didn't read his books, but I didn't know he did Carrie, Cujo. What else? The Car. I watched all those shows.
You just didn't know it was Stephen King. You didn't put 2 and 2 together. That's all.
I didn't, and I was like, and I didn't like horror, but especially that Carrie, that stayed with me for a long time.
Oh yeah, I've got that book on my bookshelf.
That was wow.
Okay, so I did the pencil for the first time. I've never done pencil on the canvas. I usually just start painting. So we're going to see how this thing looks.
I know. One thing I learned, I can't erase. When I wanted to erase, it wouldn't let me erase.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't have a right eraser. I didn't have a right eraser. And I felt like I'm in 2nd grade trying to paint. It's just ridiculous over here.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, I am. That's why I knew I would say, well, I'll be okay, because usually I get sleepy around this time. And I said, well, I know we're going to paint, so I'm still going to be up, so I'm going to be good.
Tish, you are the earliest riser I've ever met in my life.
For real.
I can't do it. It's rare for me to get up that early.
I know my husband will be saying, you wake up so early in the morning, it's just unreal. And then he had nerves to say, but you go to bed right when the sun goes down. You shut everything down and you gone.
But it's to the point where you have to. What time do you
Right.
do on the day-to-day, Tish?
I wake up by between 3 and 3:30, and I just lay there. But when it's really time for me to get up, like to stream, I will get up at like 4:00. And that's every morning, and I can get up now that time without an alarm clock.
Listen to you. You have conditioned yourself for greatness. That's all I know.
Oh, that's good to know.
I'm not a morning person, Jen. I've tried. You're up at 5:30. I do it on Saturday mornings because of boot camp, but I just no, I'm not a morning person. I already know that about me.
And I'm wired.
I get up before work that early, but also so that way I can get my writing life started. Because I do like to work, the house is quiet. I'm able to come, and do all that, especially like on Sunday morning, like right before church, I'm able to get some things done, a lot of things accomplished. But speaking of, I'm thinking of doing another newsletter, and I'm going to send it out tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. I have a new author friend that I follow, and she follows me. She does one weekly. Hers is not bad because she actually send you to links that will show you a movie or something related to whatever she's writing that is free. She will send you book links that's free. There's always something different in there she gives you, and share with her life too, and pictures and stuff that's going on in her world.
Oh, that's cool. I like the part, Tish.
I do too. I thought that was different, especially with the movies, because lately I've been watching Agatha Christie's movies on YouTube, and somebody put up a free audio. You can listen to her book on audio, and I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah. Oh, let's see what color I want this.
What did you think about your Agatha Christie day that you did?
Well, everything except I loved it, except my speakers and stuff wasn't good, and it was a latency in my thing. But just researching about her, I was so fascinated. That lady lived an interesting life. She went missing for 11 days, and because and I learned a little history through there too, because I think they called the first Aerosmith airplane or aerodynamic airplane or whatever. They used that to go look for her. And also they got some of the top writers back in those days, the one over Sherlock Holmes, and another a detective writer, to see what they did. To use some of the clues they do when they write in their books to apply it to her in real life, to look for her.
Oh my God.
What happened, her husband, after the war, he decided he was going to leave her. He was going to leave her for a younger woman.
Oh no.
So she went upstairs one night, kissed her little girl goodbye. I think her little girl was 7 years old. And she took off, didn't pack no bags or anything. She left, got in her car and just left. So they found her car like near some kind of reservoir cliff-like. So they initially thought maybe she drowned, but they looked and didn't find a body or anything. Her car was wrecked up, so they couldn't find her. And by this time, news spread all over the country, including the United States, where she had this full spread on the New York Times, Agatha Christie is missing.
Wow.
No one knew where she was. They couldn't find a body. So she had a book. I think it was her 6th book out at this time. So some people thought, okay, well, she staged this because her books was flying off the shelf. So she was in.
That's a kind of a publicity stunt I don't want when that's attached to me.
She was in some little town, spa town, having a good time, enjoying herself, dancing. And then one of the banjo players recognized her. This is on the 11th day, and called the cops. They called her husband. So she told them she had no idea what happened. She don't remember anything. But listen to this. When she checked into the hotel, she checked in using her husband's mistress name.
Oh, she knew.
Oh my gosh.
She knew.
I'll step away for a second. I'll be right back, y'all.
I cracked up. And then one more good story I want to share. Her husband, her second husband, he was a younger man. I think he was like either 13 years younger than her. He was an archaeologist, and he was invited to go on an archaeologist expedition with one of the world-renowned archaeologists. But his wife didn't want Agatha Christie there, so she had her husband tell Agatha, new husband, Agatha can't come. So she had to stay behind in Dubai, and her husband had to leave every night to go and travel for hours just to be with her. So Agatha was writing a mystery book. And she wrote it about this archaeologist helpman found this ancient something and used it to kill his wife.
Oh my gosh, she killed off that woman in the book. And
then she dedicated it to him and his wife, and they never invited her husband again.
Oh my God. That is hilarious.
She was too much.
Have you seen those T-shirts where they say, "Be careful because you might be in my next novel. Be careful what you say."
That is too much. But that's what she did. So she was very interesting, and yet she was an introvert. She didn't like her pictures taken. She didn't want any of her pictures on the book jackets, or no one resembling her on them either. So she was a very interesting lady.
I was hoping Sharon would join us, but she's bashful.
Okay. Maybe she'll paint something on the side and then she'll share
I think she's drawing something. She just got, her birthday's Tuesday, so she just got something for her birthday. So she's looking at that.
So cute.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Sharon.
Happy birthday, Sharon Pooh. They're growing up so fast.
No.
I know, and she's such an introvert.
Yeah. Welcome to the Writer Club.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that really doesn't look like a cat.
He's cute. He's really cute.
But I'm having some fun.
He is really cute.
I'm excited about starting Ghoul School.
I
only started chapter 1, and it is like the journal of Vlad Volconi, my character, my main.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always going to start the Ghoul School series off with his journal entry. So it can recap, so if a kid has not read book 1, they can kind of catch up a little bit with the journal.
Right.
In case when they go check it out at the library and they're missing that last book, they can get a little sneak peek of what happened in the previous book, catching them up to speed. But that's all that I've done on it so far. And I've done the plotting.
Mm-hmm.
Anne, did you do any plotting?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm still working through some things, but yeah, I've done quite a bit of plotting. I've actually got and I can't say it on here since we're on YouTube, but I've got my inciting incident, who the victim is, and I figured out who my killer is, but Tish and I have talked about this. Is definitely not who you expect.
Awesome.
I like those unexpected ones.
Keep us in suspense, Anne.
Mm-hmm.
Just wait. What did you use to plot? What was your strategy? Did you do the 3 act?
I create. I'm sorry. I created my journal, questions and plot points to consider, and I did not actually go back and watch, but I remember what I had done when when I first watched the Alexa Dunn plotting your thriller backwards, and I was continuing to brainstorm. And a lot of my inspiration came from dreams and stuff. So I was and some songs, I don't even know why they were in my head at the time, but I created the playlist anyway. But and I started brainstorming, and at first I didn't know where the story was going. I really had 7 chapters, 2 of which I kind of had an idea. I rewrote the prologue and the first chapter, but then there was 7 chapters. I had no idea where they were going. I was just writing down some ideas, and then I started plotting, and I'm like, okay, so I need this. And when you told me about the Center for the Visually Impaired or the rehab center instead of this hospital, and I read Shutter Island, and I'm like, no, my book does not need to be like that. So that's where I ended up with the Center for the Visually Impaired, and I ended up figuring out, I'm like, okay, so I know the accent is there to hook people in and to help people figure out why she lost her sight, but what's the inciting incident? And that's when I found out the victim, and then I was writing who the victim was. Then that's when I came up with the killer. And one of my characters that was in the original short read is has been taken out completely taken out of this book.
Well, you killed that character out too, Anne.
Well,
even started.
I know. Well, she wasn't. She just because she wasn't. She didn't show up till the end. So I kind of dropped her, out of the scene.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad the plotting worked. Tell me what you thought about Shutter Island.
It was weird. And it was good, but it was weird.
Let's just, instead of giving the plot away for Shutter Island, in case people have never watched it, let me ask you this. Did you expect what was happening going on? Like, did you know? Did you see the clues, or were you shocked?
I was shocked and kind of confused at the end. Because at the end was like, there was one thing at the end, and then the very end, like at the epilogue, it went back to the original 2 characters. I'm like, okay, so was this all a pipe dream, or was it real? I was like, that's why I was kind of disappointed, because I was kind of confused.
That's how those mysteries are written.
Oh my gosh, Tish, look at this. Y'all, I swear I did not do it. Look, okay.
Ink in your coffee, paint in your coffee. She put her paintbrush in her coffee.
Oh no!
Got much coffee left in my cup.
Oh wow!
Look what was right beside it. The water.
Oh no!
Oh well.
I am so tired. Y'all, we got up early this morning for boot camp.
I know.
I'm wondering if I could put some of that vanilla creamer coffee paint on my painting.
That might not look too good.
I can't believe I did that. Oh my God. Y'all, I don't have to be a comedian. Funny things just happen to my life naturally. Oh my God.
There went that cup of coffee.
That is hilarious.
That is a good one.
Oh, okay. So I'm using Madison's paintbrush idea to vary up my paintbrushes, which I did not do the last time. So this time that's what I'm working on. And it worked a lot better. I was able to control the brush. Of course, you would think that I would have known at least that, but no, I did not.
Oh, we learn.
We learn as we go.
Yeah.
My old.
Got me curious now. She said it was an LED chair for her birthday. I'm like, what is an LED chair?
Wow. I have never heard of such a gadget.
I know, me neither. And I'm like, now I'm curious to know what in the world it is.
Tish, you're good with gadgets. You ever heard of that?
But it sounds interesting. I hadn't heard of the chair yet, but yeah.
Some sort of light thing that would not. That would not even faze me. But I do have my own little. Well, it's not really a candle, but I call it my candle because I can't see the light. And I know there's a light that comes from it, but it's one of those. And if you can see it in the back, if it shows in the background, I don't know, but it's a wax warmer.
Yeah, the wax.
One of those things.
Do you see?
Yeah, hold on. Let me show you the tray. I can't. Give me just a second. I can show you the tray that goes on top of it.
I was thinking it was that on the right.
That was in the plug. That's what I was. Oh, yeah, that's the other one.
This is the tray that goes with it.
What scent do you have in there, Ann? Cotton candy?
Cotton candy. Yeah.
I bet it makes the house feel good.
It does, but I want lavender.
I love lavender. It's so relaxing and calming.
The one I have is metal, but you can get one that's like a porcelain, maybe not porcelain, but like a ceramic type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that where the tray sits right on top of the heating element, on top of the light. It's got like not a tray that's rounded on the on the bottom, but it's flat. Looks like a little shallow dish, and you put the wax in it. And you can get. Mama said you can get a basket of those scented waxes at the variety at Walmart.
Awesome.
So that's my candle, y'all.
Well, you were talking about stuff like that to get the senses going for Nano.
Yeah, I like the music, but I just needed something that. And I do have light perception, whether I can see the light or not. I can feel the warmth of it, so when I touch it, I know it's it's on, and it's that time of year.
Oh, okay.
So it's just nice, and I don't know if y'all may not be able to hear it, but it is raining on my roof right now.
Oh my goodness, I love that sound.
I know, me too.
Rain on your roof, a tin roof.
Especially a tin roof. Oh.
Yeah, I used to have a tin roof too. Absolutely loved it.
Good sleeping weather.
So we are getting storms tomorrow, but not today. Not today, I don't think.
We're getting rain tomorrow too.
That's why, of course, the internet goes out. I took a picture of it so I could say, okay, if this happens, I was like, Tish, because I documented the time. It was like right before I was getting ready to get into the studio.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, of course it's going to go wrong. Solomon sends me a text, Mom, the internet's messing up. And I'm like, great. So I checked my phone, and of course my phone was messing up. And then I couldn't get on the internet, but Eli reset it. So if for some reason my stuff goes out, y'all will know I'll pop right back in.
Okay.
Mine will do that at like 11 something at night. Mine will do that right in the middle of, like one time I was listening to an Audible book on my device over here. And I don't know if you can see it. It's my Echo Dot. And it just went out. And I'm like, what is going on? So I had to reset it. It'll just go out in the middle of just inadvertently in the middle of the night. And I'm like, okay, so what's going on with this?
Oh, okay. Speaking of Nano, what's the best tip y'all got from anyone during the Nano participation in the past couple of months?
Write the first draft and just go straight through and don't look back. No time for editing, no time for second guessing. Just write that baby.
Oh gosh, that is hard to do, especially when I'm rewriting things to get my story going, because I ended up cutting part of scenes. I ended up fixing some things. Yeah, my inner editor, I've got to shut her up.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to shut up the inner editor.
Because that's hard to do, especially the little nitpicky things.
So that's the best tip from me. What do you get, Tish? Tell us one.
My best tip, always have a notepad and utilize every opportunity you have to write. Even if you go into the doctor's office, just jot down your notes. If you're on the subway or the bus, jot down your note. If you're carpooling, jot down your notes. Whenever you have free time, just jot down, even if it's just a sentence, that adds to your word count. Don't let the day go by without writing anything. So utilize every opportunity you have to write something in relation to your story.
I love it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You, Ann, what you got?
One thing, and this was not necessarily from NaNoWriMo or from the Right Minded podcast, but Sarah Werner on her Right Now podcast, she said, give yourself permission, as she put it, give yourself permission to suck. Give yourself permission to fail.
That's good. To fail?
Yes. You just go straight through and know that it's not going to be perfection.
Exactly. Know that it's not going to be perfect.
Right. It's okay to fail. Yeah. It was never meant to be that,
Mm-mm.
And to me, that's the hardest part for a writer who's participating, especially when you're so used to going back and trying to correct this word or that word or your sentence structure. Just ignore that, just to keep writing. And it is really hard. But once you do it, you get used to it, especially if you're doing it every day. The main goal is to just get those thoughts out your head and put them down on paper. Don't worry about the grammar and all the other good stuff.
Well, that's why, for me, I understand that the writing is a process. And I've got time for all of that later.
Exactly.
And I like the tip that you gave one time too, Tish, like you were saying, if you even do little bits in the morning, it kind of is talking about the same kind of tip that you just gave. Like if you do a little bit of writing in the morning and you don't meet that 1667 word count, you've still got the rest of the day to pop in and out and still try to get that word count going,
That's how I do it. I set myself a goal. Like right now, I finally moved up to the 2,000 word goal, and I know, I need 2,000 words a day. So if you're in a bind or you have something to do, get up and do half of that. Even do half of 1,000 and break it down to, like a morning break, an evening break, an afternoon break, something like that. Break that down into little writing segments to get it out. 500 words seem like it's pretty easy to get. So you can say, I'm going to do 500 words in the morning before 10. And I'm going to come back around lunchtime. I'm going to do another 500 words. So that's your 1,000 words right there.
Yep.
And come back in the evening. You can do maybe 600 because I think it's 1667 and all 50K in 30 days.
Yeah.
So break those goals down to small goals.
Right. That reminds me of another tip that Myrna Lafferty gave on her I Should Be Writing podcast. And I was on her Twitch stream on Thursday when she said this. If you know you're going to have, if you know that you're going to have days in there where you're going to miss like Thanksgiving or whatever.
Right.
Go ahead and pad your word count ahead of time. Like if you're going to write like I do kind of here and there. Go ahead and pad your word count ahead of time so that you don't get behind, and so that even if you miss,
writer guilt. Family comes first for holidays, kind of thing.
Right. You can pad your word count.
You get up and you put the turkey in the oven way early in the morning, and you just write while you're waiting on the turkey where everybody else is asleep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true too.
Which we do that. We do the lunch. We'll have a big Thanksgiving lunch. So I'm up super early on Thanksgiving. So that's probably what I will do that morning before the parade comes on, because we always have to watch the parade. Do y'all do that?
The kids don't watch it. We used to go all the time. That's been a family event since we was young. Go downtown Houston to the Houston parade, Thanksgiving parade. Oh my God. And to be that Thanksgiving usually mark our winter here in Texas. We get cold in Houston, maybe for that one day, and we all take our blankets with us and sit up in the bleachers downtown and watch the parade. Oh my gosh, I miss that. But I still watch them. I watch all of them. My kids, they sleeping through it all. My kids are different. They even sleep through Christmas. I have to wake them up ever since they was little to come and open their presents.
Oh, wow.
You have to wake them up. No, we were up at 6. Well, we'd be up at 6 o'clock if Mama would let us.
I know. My mom, when we was growing up, they'd wake up me and my brother at midnight, so we get to open one toy. And then,
Yeah, I do the midnight with my boys too.
Mm-hmm.
When I was little, Christmas Eve, I couldn't sleep.
Oh no! Did you believe in Santa?
Yes.
I did
Yes.
too.
I will be honest.
I believed in Santa for a long time. I swear it up and down. I saw Santa Claus.
Watching. Santa is around. He's watching us, Tish.
We always tell the kids now Santa is the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah. So do y'all have a special place you write during 9/0, or just a special place you write at all the time, or what?
Well, if it's early in the morning, I have to come down here so I don't disturb anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I have really resigned myself around that office space that I've created for myself in the bedroom.
Uh-huh.
Just my little tiny space in the corner, and that's my spot.
Yeah.
I'll be live streaming every day because I feel like it just helps me to be accountable. I love meeting new people on the live streams.
I know. Me too.
Like I said, I'm gonna try to. I don't know because I'm gonna join. This is the first time in 6 years now that I get to join my region, because they're in Macon. They're like an hour and a half away from me. It was either that or Georgia elsewhere, where the rest of the states kind of encompassed in that. So Macon was the closest one. So, and I was not able to get into the actual write-ins because of transportation stuff. So because we're doing them on Zoom, this is the first time I get to join. I may not do them all, but this is the first time I get to join some of my regional write-ins too. So.
Oh, that's pretty good. They doing it on Zoom.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I'm glad. So you looking forward to doing all that?
Yeah, I am. So that's why, Tish, I'll be writing in with you on Halloween night, but I may have to jump off at like 11:30 for our kickoff.
That's fine.
Yeah, from 11:30 to 1.
About what you got planned. Tell everybody what you got planned.
Oh yeah, I have that Halloween. What is called Writing Wicked? No, what is it called? Writing Wickedly on Halloween. No, is that Halloween? Yeah, on the 31st at 8 o'clock Central. You come wear your costume if you like, and we're gonna do some time writing to get in practice of writing for November. So we're gonna write as long as we can. 8 o'clock. I'm gonna see if I can make it through midnight in order to get
there's a mystery that just happened, because guess what happened?
What?
The internet said you have an unstable internet connection, and all I could hear you say, Tish, was burp, burp, burp. So not only is it a mystery,
Jen, you're going out.
And everyone else on the stream.
You're going and then you start skipping. You're chopping and skipping, Jen.
It's my internet, y'all.
I thought it was me.
No, it's my internet now. Your boot camp was
the last couple Saturday mornings, it was mine. And then the morning I have to leave to get Sharon, it works.
I know, right?
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's technology for you.
I know.
So now, Tish, you get to tell everybody again what you got planned for Halloween, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, on the 31st, we're going to wear our costumes. I'm going to have mine on. And we're going to have some live write-ins. We're going to get in practice for Nano, doing time writings, preparation for it, and have some wicked music going on too. maybe have some Halloween nano trivia going on. That's something I just thought about. But I will have a costume. I got my costume. I'm gonna be a gypsy because in one of my stories, my main character, Bay, who is my sleuth, gonna be a gypsy. Not in this book, but maybe in one of the future books. So I got my little gypsy costume. We're gonna be giving away some Halloween journals. I don't have them with me. 2 journals. One is Charm, one is Spellbind, and I forgot the other one. What was on Magical or something like that. For those that actually shows up for the live stream. So that should be fun. And whoever wants to join me can just pop on in with me, and we can wear a costume and we can do whatever, just getting ready for NaNoWriMo. And we're going to write until anything.
We're doing our Friday night WWJ costumes, remember?
Yeah.
And hopefully we will get some of our other WWJs to join us.
It sounds like we're going to be rebels. I'm a total nano rebel. I end writing before I'm supposed to start.
Yeah, that's what me and Ann were talking about that, Tish.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, nano prep doesn't mean nano write. And Ann was nano writing. I mean, you can do it. There's nothing to say you can't.
Right.
But I think I had to write through to figure out where my story was going. I think I had to do that pseudo writing, I guess you could call it, and scene dumps to figure out where it was actually going. Okay, Jen, now you're in the choppy sea.
I like that, the choppy sea.
Yeah, it's like very choppy.
There she goes, she might.
This internet is a mess.
If you're on DSL, it's going to be a mess. That's probably why mine does it sometimes.
Especially with weather.
It's crazy.
Mine's holding up, which is interesting, and it's raining.
I told you, Ann, you'd be my backup, but then what's happening is because it's mine, it's blocking us all.
Oh, okay.
So it's because I'm doing the stream, it's kind of being foolish. I like your house. I like your haunted house.
It's so crazy looking. I just, oh gosh, I'm just messing around over here. Like, that's okay though. It seemed like drawing ahead of time to do me no good, but look at your cat. I like those eyes. Look at him.
It's a cat.
Yeah. It's a Halloween cat.
Y'all, I'm trying to stay out of the candy bowl. We got some candy for Halloween because I knew Sharon wasn't going to be here, and she may or may not get to go trick-or-treating at her dad's. So, and we're having a church thing, but I knew I wasn't going to get candy then, so I got some Halloween candy, and I'm trying to stay out of my candy bowl over there.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh my gosh, I have some. Right now I've got chocolate. I've got. I like kind of having a mixed bag of different things. Just no Twizzlers. I don't like Twizzlers.
Oh my God, I would eat those like crazy.
I love those things too. I can't stand them.
Ann could give you all the Twizzlers.
Oh. I do. Those are my favorite. I like licorice. I would eat licorice too.
Yeah, I like licorice jelly beans, but I don't know about licorice sticks. But now what we got Kit Kats, we've got Baby Ruth, we got Butterfingers and Goobers.
Well, you're doing good staying away from your Kit Kat. I know that.
I'm doing good staying away from the Goobers too.
You
know what Goobers
my favorite is candy corn.
Candy corn and candy pumpkins. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
My daddy does not want to have those there on the microwave if I walk in there to do clothes. Because I'll be grabbing me a handful full of popcorn. Candy corn and pumpkins.
Candy corn this year, baby.
Let's see what color. Brown and white.
Yeah, I'm having you know what Goobers are? They're chocolate covered peanuts.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I told Sharon, I said, it's like an M&M, but just a different kind of chocolate.
Uh-huh. Did she like them?
She didn't like them.
She didn't.
No, she tried them and she's like, "You can have your goobers." She likes the Kit Kats and the Baby Ruth.
Oh my goodness, I love Baby Ruth. I love all the old candies. Baby Ruth, Mr. Goodbar, if you catch some of those in there.
Snickers, man.
Mm-hmm.
You get those in like the Hershey's, the bag of Hershey's miniatures.
Right.
So I just like plain Hershey chocolate. That is my favorite.
I like my dark chocolate, but I can't drink it too much.
I don't like.
I'm thirsty, y'all. I'm sorry. I can't eat it too much, so I have to stick with
coffee. It's paint flavored coffee.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I got some milk in there. I'm probably gonna. I made some tea too, but I probably will stay away from the caffeine because I do want to sleep tonight. So I'm probably gonna drink my bottle of milk in there.
Eli, did you hear what I did with my paintbrush, honey? Baby, I put it in my coffee cup. With a half a cup of coffee left.
That is hilarious.
I can't believe I did that.
What did he say?
I cannot believe I did that.
But what did he say? Uh-oh.
Is this my black?
Uh-oh, we lost Jen, y'all.
She'll be back.
I hate that we're having internet issues, y'all. I apologize for that.
Well, at least it comes back. That's a good thing.
Trust me.
Yeah. Now, what did Eli say when you told him about that?
I'm not the only person that it's ever happened to in this world.
No.
No.
Shit, the other day I was doing the how do you illustrate a children's book? You can ask Tish.
Yeah.
And it completely froze and kicked me out. Like my internet just kicked me completely out. And one of my former students was watching it on Facebook Live and she said, "Well, at least you froze with a smile." I was like, there you go.
That's a good one.
It was like such positive.
That was a really good positive one.
You froze with a smile on your face. So I'm sure I look ridiculous smiling, but hey, it worked out. I got right back on.
So what writing tools y'all use the most for writing? Especially for Nano. Especially writing tools?
Hold on. Let's back up for a minute because I didn't answer your question about my writing spot. Now that I'm in my house, as you well know, I have my desk over here. It's a little bit cluttered because I got my printer over here, which is taking up a little bit more room than I expected. But still, I got my cozy little desk. I got my bookshelf over here. Yeah, so I've got my little writing nook. Even though the bar and everything is in the living room, this is my spot. But now my thinking spot, if the weather is actually cooperating with me, my thinking spot is out on my steps. But when it's cold, I can't do that. So I'm gonna have to find me another thinking spot.
And so, Tish, you were talking about tools. Are you talking about like
computers?
Like, you know, my prep tool of choice is Jamboard. I absolutely love my Jamboard.
Oh, okay.
I use my laptop
outside of Nano, like doing the Jamboard for the outlining. But I also loved what I did when I was using the Jamboard to document the first draft and doing all the color codes as I went through. Like, I love being able to look back on that Jamboard and see what that first draft looked like. Then the next is the second, then the third. Like, I love to see that progression.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to be using that. That's going to be one of my go-to tools from now on when I'm doing any kind of writing task.
I use my laptop and Word, and I use, like, for my workout, my Nano workout tracker until I put it up on the site. I have a notepad file, a text file called NaNoWriMo My Workout Tracker.
Oh, you actually track it outside of the site?
I track it, yeah, because sometimes I don't. Hold on, my iPad is now ringing and it's driving me nuts. Hold on. All right, stop. Stop. Okay, it's gonna chime at me. Anyway, so yeah, I do track it outside the site because if I'm writing and I don't get a chance to, it's not that I don't get a chance to, but if I don't, sorry, I got distracted. If I don't track it when I'm thinking about it, I will forget. Because I have to copy and paste within the chapter, not only to change the font of the actual chapter text, not the heading, but the chapter text itself. But it helps me keep track of the words before I go to the next chapter.
Okay. Tish, what you gonna be using? What's some tips for you for tools?
I don't try almost everything. Used to use is it Scrivener? Yeah.
Scrivener.
I like the chord board better with that one because I like to see my index cards against that. But I'm not using that this year. Last July for Camp Nano, I used Dabble. I really like that program.
Okay,
but this time,
so let's discuss what you're talking about because I've never heard of Dabble.
Yeah, it's it was one of the free things, a gift that you can win, a trial or whatever with Nano, and it's a word processor. Basically, it's a more friendly user than Scrivener. It was like Scrivener. You can connect it with your Nano account. So whatever words you did for the day, it automatically updates through your Nano once you connect the two. You can set your own goals. You can set your writing goals each day. You can set how many words you want to do each day. It will let you know, you reached this goal and all of that good stuff. So it's a focal point word process. If you don't want to see all that other stuff, it just focuses on that sentence and it disappears. It's really there, but it disappears, so you can't go back and write it unless you stop it and bring it down and look at it. So I like that. So each sentence you write, it fades away.
So that means that it stops you from going backwards. It kind of
Exactly.
forces your mind forward into the text.
Right.
You think that's what it's doing? It's conditioning you.
Yeah. And it's good because you don't go back. Well, at least I didn't. I had got to a point when I got used to not going back and looking. So
see, it built habits in your brain. To me, that's the
so that
whole
was nice to use. Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
Definitely. Dabble, yeah. It's you can it's a web-based editor, or you can download it to your computer to use it. I think downloading it costs, but otherwise it's free web-based.
Oh, so it's like Pro Writing Aid that we love.
Yeah. But this year I'm just going to use Google Docs. Only because I love to switch up on my fonts. And I don't know why I never thought about that before, but that does make a difference to me.
It makes a difference to me. I'm going to tell you.
When you're writing.
Comic Sans, I know people might disagree. People might agree. But I really think it made a difference when I was writing for Nano before and I did the Sunday Killer. And I used Comic Sans. Which one are you going to use, Tish?
I think it's called Calvert or Carvert. I use a script. I like writing. That's the handwriting script. I love that. So yeah, it makes it. And then I use size 24 font size.
Do you really, Tish?
Yep, I sure do.
So
it makes me feel like I'm really doing something. And yeah.
So yeah, I do the 12, but I do change it.
Okay.
The Georgia font. There's something about the Georgia font that I love.
I love Georgia font too, but I
like to write in Comic Sans, and then I'll switch it.
Right.
And put it out. But I love doing my first draft in Google Docs because then I can pull it up from anywhere and then I can share it with my Aunt Dot when I need to,
Right.
So I definitely use Google Docs as my primary to begin with.
And I used to hate Google Docs.
Huh?
I used to hate Google Docs. I don't know why. I just never gave it a chance.
I love Google Docs.
I love it now.
That's a learning curve for me. Oh, but writing tools when my computer's not on. Like I had already turned my computer off, and I had just sat down, and I was like thinking of something. I had an idea, and I didn't feel like turning my computer on. So what I did was I ended up emailing myself. I will use my phone to either write in notes, or I will send myself emails from my iCloud to my Gmail.
Hey, that works.
Mm-hmm.
I will do that, and then I'll copy and paste the questions into the journal. And sometimes I'll have to edit because I'm gonna be honest with you, Siri doesn't always write what I say.
Oh, trust me.
I have tried dictation.
It won't come out right.
Have you ever tried dictating your story?
I know you tried that too, Tish. I remember us talking about you dictating it, but I've never done that. I'm pretty much of a fast typer, so
Me too.
when I'm in the car, I'm brainstorming either on the podcast, talking it out. That's kind of like my journaling.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of say I dictate with the podcast, just talking to my listeners about the process of what I'm going through or what I'm thinking about with the books or something like that. But I don't actually dictate the actual story. But I do a lot of brainstorming with dictation, if we can count the podcast.
Oh, okay.
I dictate if it's short snippets of text, like a text message or something short in the notes, because sometimes when you're trying to say what punctuations, especially if you're trying to do dictating dialogue, it doesn't come out right.
Right.
And I have to do more editing than I normally would. So I'm like, you know what? Forget this. That's why I have when I'm on my iPad, and I used to have one for my phone, but I don't use it on my phone anymore. I have my trusty Bluetooth keyboard.
So I am going to
I want to email myself from my iPad.
I'm sending another book to Sally Shoup.
Oh, nice.
So November 1st, she's going to be getting another book. For editing.
Were y'all able to see the keyboard?
Oh, I was painting, Ann.
Show it again, Ann. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what you use?
Yep, that's for my iPad.
Oh,
and that's why when I'm watching Facebook Lives on my iPad, I'll use that and make comments. But I have not watched some of the Facebook Lives, but that's another story for another day.
So I'm excited about Sally getting my next book.
Oh, that's really good.
I'm thinking that I'm going to send her. At first, I was thinking of the Fae of Averly and going ahead and sending her that one. But the more I talked it out, and I know that I wrote that grant, and I'm waiting to hear if I got approval on that grant. I don't want to mess with the Fae of Averly until the grant decision. So that one is going to be one that is just going to be put on hold for any kind of work. I did another round of editing on the Sunday Killer last weekend. I read it all the way through again from start to finish because it has been a while since I read that.
I haven't even looked at Shadow of Truth yet. I want to get this one.
I have to take like a 2-week break. That's kind of like what my strategy is to take a 2-week break, read a bunch of stuff, work on another project. I had podcast interviews, so I had some other things I had to be doing. But I went back and I reread The Sunday Killer, and I made some minor changes, nothing major, no plot changes or anything like that. But I just read through it, found some things. And I was like, maybe that's the one that I will send to her, because I know that that's one that I'm going to be shopping around, and it would be good to have it in its best form.
Right.
sending it out. But I'm also debating about the Bad to the Bone middle grades horror comedy. And since I'm going to be doing tons of horror reading during Nano, I'm thinking maybe not to do that one, just to continue to read and then go back to that one again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So
You have a lot of options.
things out, y'all. Like I talk them out to get to my own conclusions of what I need to do as far as which book I'm sending to Sally. I know I'm sending her a book. I just have to like pray about it and talk about it out loud. Like, so which one is it going to be this time?
Oh, yeah.
I know I said I was going to take a 2-week break between finishing Shadow of Truth and doing the edits because I know there's going to be some gaps I need to fill in and some things I may have to cut. But I want to get this story, the body in the dorm advisor's office. I want to get this story out of my head first. Get it completely out of my head, and then go and do Shadow of Truth so that I've got a fresh, I'm kind of.
Yeah, but that one's going to be your Nano project, so you will be getting it out of your head.
Right, exactly. That's why I did the brainstorming on it, and even the fleshing out. Because sometimes I had I had to write those chapters to flesh the story out, figure out where I was going. Because I had an idea, but I really didn't know.
I feel like for me, one of the things that I have an issue with that I always have to bring myself back to, tell me y'all if y'all will do this or not, trying to work on more projects than I need to be working on at the same time.
Oh, no, I'm not there. That's you. I wish I could. I said I was for Nano. That'll be the first. Otherwise, it's hard. I felt it hard to do more than one project. So this will be my first time.
Yeah, I heard you say you're going to be working on the 2 haiku books and the Flip Flops, Tarot Cards, and Murder.
But I have a plan, though. See, I have. It's not going to be. My haiku is going to be pretty easy. So I have a planned schedule for that, and then I'm move on to the next thing. So it will be the first. And I think I have finally figured my writing schedule and my pattern and my habits. So I may be able to handle these multiple projects now than I had in the past.
And then you can do some reflection and find out, wait, no, I got to focus back.
Right.
You just switch gears,
Right.
That's what I'm going to be doing, because with the Nano project being the 50,000 words, I'm hoping to get 10 easy readers out of that time period.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know that it's important for me to be reading easy readers as I'm working my Nano project. So do you guys have any plans about reading while you're Nano?
I'm reading any kind of.
How have you normally done that?
I'm reading all kinds of suspense. Right now, I'm working on, although there is another book I'm going to read in between too, because I'm interested in it. I am working on this 8-book romantic suspense box set. It's got authors like Lisa Harris and Lynn Gentry. They collaborated on one. It was a book in one in their series. You got Elizabeth Goddard, Robin Patchen, and there's like I said, 8 different authors. They put together this box set, and I got it for 99 cents. And I'm like, other than reading that, the Shutter Island, I'm reading that one, and I'm also working on a James Scott Bell, Try Dying. So I'm going to be reading thriller and suspense. What I've noticed with thriller is not the same as cozy mystery. Sometimes your inciting incident doesn't happen till like the 2nd or 3rd chapter.
So they're doing a lot of the build-up?
Yeah, they're doing, and I'm having to do some build-up too before the inciting incident actually happens.
I'm doing your method, Jen. When you did the Sunday Killer, went back and read all the first chapters of thrillers. I'm actually doing that with the Cozy Mystery right now, Variety. I wrote a list out of the books and I started reading it. It was so funny. I never really read before bed, and I read before bed the other night, which was a big mistake because I end up dreaming about everything I read. So I had a dream about the book I read. I read the first chapter, and I have a list of 5 books I'm gonna read and break down like that. And then I started dreaming about that book, and then it was another book in my head, and I kept saying, I don't remember this book. This is all in my dream. I can't remember this book. Why can't I remember this book? And when I woke up and I looked at my journal, I realized, well, I only read one book. That's why I couldn't remember the other book. But yeah, I'm using that method and going back. And
what do you think of it so far?
Well, it's interesting because I was trying to see how many characters they actually introduce in the beginning and who they introduce in the beginning. Now, some books that I read, the murder takes place in the first chapter, and I like that. And in some books, the murder takes place in the second and third chapter.
So which one did you like? What style?
I like the first chapter. I like that murder to happen right then and there, instantly. You know what I mean? Not instantly, but right in the first chapter. Your main characters are introduced, and then that's the murder. Because usually a cozy mystery is a quick read. You know, you don't have no slow. I don't like the slow pace ones, and they drag it out. And I read a whole bunch of them that was dragged out, and I read a lot of good ones that is paced evenly, but the murder happens, and it's like a quick movie. I like those. I like those quick movies.
I'm with you, Tish.
Mm-hmm.
I like to
drag it out.
You know? And that's the thing, like with the easy readers, I'm going to probably learn a lot just by going back, because I did the easy reader review when I was doing Ghoul School, but that was I wrote Ghoul School back in February. So look how long it's been. I've been removed from the easy reader world. And now I'm going to be going right back into the easy reader world. And I'm sure I'm going to, after, continuing to research and look at patterns, and the more you learn, the more you start noticing new things.
Right. And I find that really intriguing to me I feel like I'm an investigator in a way when I'm going through these different books. And reading them as pleasure, but at the same time, right now, I'm reading them as an investigator, critical reader. I like that.
I love it, Tish, because that's a way to investigate the genre and learn more about the expectations within the genre, patterns, reader expectation. Every reader has especially avid readers within a genre.
I know.
And then people just like what they like. You know that, regardless.
Right. Yeah.
No one's going to do it like Tish, and no one's going to do it like Lynn. So
exactly.
Sometimes it's hard for me to do the first chapter reads with audiobooks. So that's why I like to read through the book to kind of study how each chapter is laid out. But I do it differently. My research process is different.
Tell us more about your research process.
Because when I get started, if I do a first chapter, if it's one that's got me hooked in, I can't put it down. But if it's one that, now I do know that when I do read a first chapter, if I'm not hooked, I'll drop it. I will drop it. After like the second or third chapter, I have been known to drop a lot of books because of the fact that I don't like them. But and then reading that whole book, it's like, because I'm such a big mystery buff, I read the differences to see, okay, so this one is done like this one is done like that. Like, everybody writes the thing, as I've heard so many times. Everybody writes this thing one way and that thing another, and one thing, and even, it's not just the authors, it's sometimes each book by the same author can vary differently. Some authors write different points of view. Like with Terry Blackstock, for example, If I Run series, you had 2 or 3 different points of view, depending on which book in the series you were reading. And they were all in first person, and they flip-flop, but went all in first person. Whereas in the new .911 series, they were all in third person, and yet it flip-flopped. But she did it so well till she didn't, she didn't go like back up a little bit to catch up with the other point of view, which another author I read did that, and I didn't like that style. But I liked her style because she did it in a way that it wasn't confusing. It's like she switched from one, as like one character leaves, you get into the mind of though it was a little bit of head hopping, but you got into the mind of the other character in another location. So you could see what was going on from their point of view, but not backtracking. So like I said, each author is different, each book is different, and I'm looking at the similarities and differences. But in series is like that, like with the new .911, that fifth book, I was hoping it wasn't going to be the last one, because honestly, I had fallen in love with those characters.
Was it the last one you had to say goodbye?
Yes. Line of Duty was like the very last one, and it was like a building that had collapsed in New Orleans, and they had the firefighters. And I'm like, okay, so this guy Dan Nichols, he was caught in the middle of it. We found out who it was, but toward the end, I'm like, okay, so does he recover? Is he a paraplegic? What happens? Does he go back to firefighting? Is he not able to? I'm like, because I'd fallen in love with Dan and Jill. I'd fallen in love with these other characters. I'm like, really? You got to end it there?
You need to get Terry Blackstock's email. You need to email her.
I need to find her contact form, and I need to email her and have her on the show.
How much you love that series.
I do, and I need to have her on the show because she's got a book coming out in 2021.
So
because I got an update on Amazon.
I am one that's quick to go and just say, I love your work, I love your series, or I love your, Mm-hmm. I think we need to do that to authors that we love.
Yeah.
Because after I read the Zora and Me series, that was the middle grade series, because you guys know I've got 2 middle grade books I'm working on this year. And it fell in perfectly, and I just fell in love with that book.
Aww.
And it's now on my top 10 list. I had to go and revise my top 10 list, and I republished that out, my new top 10 of all time, to include the summoning. But I mean, when books like that hook us in, I think authors need to know.
I liked it, but it didn't, I don't know that I'd read the rest of the series because it didn't draw me in like other books do. And I like middle grades, don't get me wrong, because I love like the Encyclopedia Brown and all of that.
That's more like 4th grade below,
Yeah, I liked those when I was growing up, and I liked the Nancy Drews and the Hardy Boys, and now they've got some Hardy Boy Nancy Drew combos. There's a few of those out there.
Yeah, but books all touch us in all different ways,
Right.
That's the beauty of reading and sharing what we love.
I'm gonna step away for just a second.
I am making my swirly clouds. I have added a pumpkin patch.
Aww.
And I'm doing the clouds. How's it going over there with your boogie? You're a little creepy, Tish.
Oh, creepy. He's definitely creepy. He is definitely creepy.
You gotta hold it up closer to the screen so I can see it.
You will.
Oh, I love him so much.
Yeah, I tried to do the witch, but the paint didn't dry, so I couldn't do that in the moon. I have to.
Tish, that's adorable.
Yeah. And this is the house. The goosey goose hills.
I love it.
Oh gosh.
Tish,
That's fun.
are you proud of it?
Yeah, I am.
You should be. It looks actually really good. I love your creepy. I love Mr. Creepy though.
I gotta put his name up there. Yeah, he's
I
definitely
could see his name is not creepy, but Mr. Creepy.
yeah.
He's
Mr.
a gentleman. He's a mister.
Mr. Creepy. Let's see if I can write his name.
You know, that's just because like me and you love the scariest book in the whole entire world.
I know, yeah.
And then there could be other people that read another book and say, oh, I love this one, or oh my gosh, did you read the one about the glowing underpants? Tish, I gotta send you a new book, okay?
Okay.
And it's about glowing underpants.
Oh,
Glow in the dark. It is. I love it so much. I gotta go.
I've seen it at Barnes and Noble.
Oh my God.
They have a few books.
I read it to my students last year in Read Aloud. And yes, I read it to ninth graders.
I bet you they loved it.
They did.
That's more fun than just reading it to them.
I had fun.
Creepy.
Okay.
I need to hurry up with my phone.
There is
Oh, yours is good. Look at your
book cover that looks nothing like the book cover, but so I had a black cat for 16 years. I loved her so
did
much.
you?
Yes. Her name was Zoe. And
cute.
I used Zoe's name in the Ghoul School series, but she's not a cat. She is a zombie, but
she was a zombie cat or just a zombie?
She's a zombie girl in my book.
Okay.
I did use Zoe's name, my cat's name, in my book.
Aww.
But when I saw and she was a black cat, and so when I saw this for the Ghoul School cover, I fell in love with it, and I was like, I've got to use that black cat for one of the stories.
That's a good one.
And I had no clue how it was going to work and what was going to happen in the story. I just knew that I had to have one with my black cat Zoe on the cover.
Right.
And then I pulled up my images, and I started thinking about the NaNoWriMo and what my next book was going to be. When I saw the cover, it just all made perfect sense.
Oh.
As soon as I saw the image, I'm like, oh, I know what this whole book is about. And I pulled up that Jamboard and I plotted that thing probably in 10 minutes, Tish.
Oh, yeah. It was ready.
I was ready. My heart was ready. So my cat Zoe is going to be on the cover of the book.
Up now.
I'm still here, just y'all can't see me right a second.
I know. Tish, are you about to close down?
I'm through. I have the nerves of messing them up. You need to stop when you know you're finished. I messed up his little shoes. That's all right.
Tish, I do love Mr. Creepy.
Oh, man.
He looks like a children's book, ready to go.
Yeah. Mr. Creepy.
Oh, I found out more about the LED chair, y'all.
Creepy.
What it is it's a
book. He
got black fingernails.
Found out about the more about the LED chair.
Yeah, Jim froze for a little bit.
It's a blow-up chair. It's an inflatable chair with LED lights around it. You can get like a strip of LED lights to hang on your wall or to attach to your wall. But now they've got the LED light chair.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I love lights.
Sharon does too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think we lost Jen.
Yeah, she had froze.
Because she was talking and it was coming through just fast. Every other word. I had to take my medicine. Candy's tempting me, but I'm trying to stay out of it.
That's why I didn't buy none yet. I'm gonna buy it on Halloween day, where it's half off.
I'm gonna try to hold off on it because I want to have, because that's a big bowl of candy. There's no way I can go through that fast. So I'm trying to prevent myself from eating too much.
Hello.
And then Jen?
Back, Ann. I can hear you say Jen got stuck. I could hear it. It was hilarious.
Yeah, you got stuck.
Yeah. Okay, look. Okay, I'm going to show mine.
Sarah, what are you drawing over there?
Can you see, Tish?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I love the eyes. Oh, that's really nice.
Okay.
Well, guys, Tish, you got to show yours one more time.
Okay. I'm trying to change it. I was thinking of Captain Underpants, and I started making creepy with underpants. Well, anyway, this is my house with the goals and the bad. Creepy house.
Love it. That's Mr. Creepy's house.
Yeah, and I messed up his pants because he almost had all underpants. So I was trying to change them back, but my paint smeared. Licorice. You know that movie Captain Underpants? My little cousins are so crazy over Captain Underpants.
Yes, that's a huge series. Okay, I'm gonna go and send you that new book to go investigate, Tish.
Okay.
Like it. And thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Yeah, that was fun.
And Jen, I don't know if you heard this, but the LED chair.
Yeah, I heard you. I could hear everything y'all were saying. I was just frozen with the video.
Yeah, you could. You were, every other word was like this.
Well, thank y'all for being patient. Of course, the night we had planned this, 3 weeks ago, we do it thing, but I have had a lovely time, and I have enjoyed painting my Zoe, which is my cat I love.
She's pretty.
And still do. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful night and happy writing. Everything's upcoming with Nano. You're going to be able to check out Tish Bouvier every single day on her channel. Ann Harrison is going to be hanging out at Write-Ins. She is going to be around. And hopefully, Ann, you'll be able to check some of ours out and get in the comments and meet some new writers.
I will, believe me. I've got a podcast interview on November the 16th. But other than that, I am going to do, I think if not tomorrow, then Monday, I am going to do a little short podcast of encouragement to nano writers out there and those who are on the fence about their project, some suggestions for what to do about that. So I can leave a suggestion here if you want, Jen.
Yeah, leave one before we go on out.
Okay, one quick suggestion. If you're on the fence about what kind of project you want to do, just if you're gonna do nano, create a project, call it Untitled or call it My Nano Project, just as a placeholder until you figure out what you're gonna do.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because I went through a couple of ideas before nailing down what I was going to do with Goal School. So trust me, I was going back in and changing and fixing up titles and images, but now I have settled in on the book 2 of Goal School. So excited about it. So, all right, guys, I love y'all.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Wonderful day and wonderful night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.